really easy, all right, but super helpful, and we used them quite a bit when we were making our video. So it's called a trim path. Basically, all you're doing is taking a line and having it seem like it disappears or appears, really up to how you want to do it. So I'm just going to make a composition here. And all I'm going to do is just draw an ellipse. And this will work with a line you create with the pen tool. Okay, it'll work with any line you have. So here's my beautiful ellipse. Now, in case you didn't know, and I forget who asked me yesterday, you have a stroke and you have a fill up here. If you want to get rid of the fill or the stroke, you click on the word and you can eliminate it. All right? But this is really simple. So here's my shape. Inside I have my ellipse, and I have all my paths and things like that. Well, next to contents is this little word that says add. And I'm going to click on add, and I'm going to scroll down to trim path. All right? And here is my trim path. And this is really basic. You have a start and you have an end. The only difference between start and end is how the trim path works. You don't set a start and an end. That confused me the first time. So if you just want it to go from the start to one way, you can just use the start. And I'll show you what I mean. So currently right now it's at 0%. All right? Well, I'm going to put it at 100%, and I'm going to make a keyframe. And then I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to make another keyframe at 0%. And when I play this, okay? So I know some of you talked about your rocket ship going around or a line going around. This would be how you would do it. Now, that's the start point, okay? So if I wanted to, okay, you can have it go the other way and come back this way, and that's by using the end. So let's say I go here, here's 100%. All right, my end is going to be at 0, all right? And I'll go back and make a keyframe here, and I pull over here, and then go to end 100%. So that when I play this, okay? So this confused me at first. I was like, oh, I have to set a start and an end. No. The start and the end just basically decides which way it's going to come from. All right? So if I look at the beginning, the start, it comes from here and goes this way. Whereas the end, okay, goes the other way. That's all. So really, if you just pick one or the other, all right, if you don't like the direction it's going, you just swap. All right, but you don't have to do both. For a while, I was doing one at the start and one at the end and realized I was completely screwing this up. All right? So that works with any line that you have. So you may find, okay, that and trim paths do not work with vector. So if you have a shape, you've got to turn it into if you have a vector piece, right? Let's say I have a swoosh that's a vector for my logo. I want to turn that into a shape. Otherwise, this won't work. Okay, and you may even find you might have to pen tool it in After Effects to really get it to work the way you want to. But that's trim paths. Again, I saw some of your designs, and I felt like this might be a really helpful tool for you because it's really kind of fun. And just sort of makes a really simple effect. And when you see it, you're like, oh, that's a really cool animation. And you realize afterwards, it's really simple to make. All right? So that's trim path. That was my little tip for the day. Any questions?